Live from Studio B and KPRC2. Houston Life starts now.
Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to Houston Life. It's May 9th, 2022. I'm Derek Shore.
And I'm Courtney Savala. Good to see you on this Monday.
It's nice to see you as well.
You know, we're bouncing back from the weekend. Today on Houston Life, the local pitmasters competing on the new season of Food Network's BBQ Brawl. I love this show. They're joining us in studio with a fun tasting challenge I'm not gonna miss. Y'all shouldn't either.
That is a non-stop show. Also, two Texas-based kids. Did you hear this? They just made the U.S. BMX team. And before they head off to compete internationally at the World Championships of BMX Racing, they're going to try to teach Joe Sam a few tricks. So is he up for the challenge? I guess we'll find out.
And forget the lawnmowers. We're checking out the goats who mow. How your family can check them out as well, too.
Not bad. Okay.
You've been waiting to use that, haven't you?
Before we get into all of that, how about a check of today's forecast?
I'm going to tell you what it is. It's hot. Hi, Frank.
Hey, you don't need me. I mean, it is absolutely, it's hot, it's humid, it feels like 100 degrees out there. And I guess the big question is, how long is this going to last? And it's going to last a while. Take a look outside right now. It just looks hot, doesn't it? A little on the hazy side. Humidity's running about 50 to 60%. So these 90s, and there are a lot of them, 90, 91, 93, 94 in Brenham, 92 in Cleveland. Feels more like 100 to 105 in Brenham right now, 102 in Huntsville. So it's pretty tough. Make sure all those pets are well protected, especially Charlie, who has that adorable Justin Bieber haircut. 92 at 4, 91 at 5, 90 at 6 and 7 even. It's not even going to get to the 80s until maybe 8 o'clock tonight. In fact, I blog about why it is so hot, this pattern that is in place. So you can scan that QR code. It'll take you right to the blog, and also a bit about just how long it's going to last. I can take the forecast through about May the 22nd. So that's on the blog this afternoon. We'll check the rest of your forecast coming up in about half an hour.
All
okay,
right.
Frank, thanks for that. It is hot. It is hot.
It is, for sure. You know, over the weekend, we had such a fun time. We got a chance to hang out with some of y'all, our KPRC2 insiders, for a really fun and fancy Derby Day party.
Yeah, and people really stepped up to the plate here. Our viewers, specifically, people dressed the part and they showed up. I think we had about 80 KPRC2 insiders. This was at the Rustic, the Post Oak, like Uptown Park location. And here's just a bit of behind the scenes. It was so nice to get out and interact with some of the viewers of KPRC.
It was so fun, and who doesn't love a good Derby Day and a mint julep? Apparently we do.
Those were strong.
They were very strong, but it was also really fun for us to hang out with the rest of the KPRC2 team, because let's just say you saw Anavid and Lisa and Anthony Yanez. Those are people that we don't get to see, you and I, a lot because of the shift change. By the time we get in, their day is done, so we don't usually see each other here at work, but it was so lovely to do so. And there's LK.
Yeah, Lauren Kelly. It was great. It was great. It was beautiful. And, you know, some of our spouses showed up as well. Gabrielle and Brandon were there and a few others. So thanks for coming out. And to all of our viewers who came out, thank you. And if you haven't become a KPRC2 insider, you got to do it, because that's how you get invites to events like this. It is totally free to join. We have exclusive giveaways, parties, like the Kentucky Derby party. There's a QR code on your screen if you'd like to scan and sign up.
It was a lot of fun, for sure.
Well, and then we ran out of the Rustic in a mad dash at like 6:15, because at 7 p.m. we had to be at the River Oaks Country Club for the annual Goodwill Gala. The theme was Starry Night, and it was so nice. This is a really cool event because it, of course, is a good time. It's a great party, but it raises money to support Goodwill's programs, changing lives through the power of work. And many of us don't even really think about, when we're donating something to Goodwill, we think like, oh, then people can go and buy inexpensive items at a thrift store. But it's so much more than that, because that begins this cycle of selling products and raising money to get people working. Many people who have had trouble getting jobs in other places.
Right, and we've heard these stories here on Houston Life from our friends at Goodwill about how we're putting basically a face to the story and their work program, and how they go about finding a job for somebody who's had not such great luck on their own finding it. And it is really incredible success stories that come out of that.
Yeah, their job training programs truly change lives. I think we have some video of the event because, again, it's all for a great cause, but we know how to party and have a good time. Specifically, there's Susan Miller, one of our KPRC2 sales folks, and the crowd was so fun. The dance moves were great. The band was great. And I don't know, I guess we got our second win because we shut the place down, Courtney.
Well, that's no surprise. That's usually your MO.
I mean, yeah, Brandon was like, you know what, maybe we can make it an early night. Maybe we'll be home by 10.
Yeah, this is the same person that says, we're in bed by 8 p.m. every night.
Not every night, but some nights.
Not even close.
Okay, so changing the subject. No, actually, we're going to continue talking about Goodwill. Did you hear about this woman who went to a Goodwill store in Austin, Texas? She bought this item. She found this sculpture. It was actually on the floor under a table, paid $35 for it. This is it.
I love it. Yeah.
The woman's name is Laura Young. She's an art collector. And it turns out this was an ancient Roman bust.
And she paid $35 for it.
$35. So experts are dating it officially from like the 1st century BC or maybe the 1st century AD.
Oh, my word.
So this thing is old and it's extremely valuable. So temporarily it's on display at a museum in San Antonio before being sent back to Germany. So this sculpture disappeared during World War II in Germany. One of the theories is maybe a soldier brought it to the States from Germany. But again, this thing is old. The sculpture might be the son of Pompey the Great, who was defeated in war by Julius Caesar. Little history lesson there. But here's the thing. International law stipulates the woman, she can't keep it. It's not hers. She can't sell it.
She got it.
No, it's not. So she's saying it's kind of bittersweet because she's got to send it back to Germany after the museum releases it. But she said it was really cool to be part of a very small part of its long and complicated history.
Am I remembering the story correctly? Did it come from somebody who passed away and they think this is the woman's or the person who passed away? It's like in the family, so they went through their things and then donated it.
I don't know.
And now that person wants it back.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, but there's all kinds of stories here.
Yeah, but you can't own an artifact like that.
That's not yours.
You always hear these stories about people donating something like, oh, but that was my favorite pair of jeans that also had my diamond ring in the pocket, you know?
Yeah.
So we always check the pockets before we donate, and we check to make sure there are no Roman busts before we donate as well.
Yeah, hold on to those.
Hold on to those. But we do want to hear from you, as always. Share with us on our Houston Life Facebook page maybe some of the most interesting or best finds you have purchased or snagged at a thrift shop.
I've always wanted to find something like this is worth $10 million.
Oh, like Antiques Roadshow.
Yeah.
You know, I have a pair of $15 boots that I got from a thrift store, my favorite boots.
Yeah.
And they're probably 40 or 50 years old. They recently fell apart, and it was a very sad day in our household.
But not worth $50 million or anything like that.
No.
Just a sad pair of boots story. Okay. Another sad story. This is over the weekend. You hear the passing of true legend Mickey Gilley. He passed away, of course, popular country western singer. He died at the age of 86, surrounded by his family in Branson, Missouri. You know, 86 years old. He recently was on tour and did 10 shows in April. He did cancel the last ones due to health issues. Nothing has been released on why he was sick or what the ailment was, but just taking a look at his long history, you know, he had 17 #1 country records.
Wow.
His first was Room Full of Roses, and he was a partner in Gilley's, which opened in 1971, of course, in Pasadena. It was catering to those 9-to-5ers, the oil field workers.
Yeah, you stop by after work.
You know, this was a big deal. It was huge, too. 48,000 square feet. The dance floor could accommodate more than 5,000 people. And Gilley was born in Natchez, Mississippi, just like my friend Sally Ring, my butterbean friend, but was raised in Louisiana. And in 1980, this is what came out. The Paramount Pictures released the featured film Urban Cowboy, starring John Travolta and Deborah Winger, much of which was filmed at Gilley's in Pasadena.
I didn't know that.
Yes, yes. And it wasn't based on that bar. It was the two in the movie was actually based on an Esquire article that the owners had watched this relationship kind of develop, but it was an Esquire article that kind of got the screenwriting. Do you remember the names of the actors? And not John Travolta, not Deborah Winger, but their names in the movie?
No.
Bud and Sissy.
Oh.
Bud and Sissy, I can't quit you.
Those were both my nicknames in high school.
Great movie, by the way.
It's a bad joke. It is a great film. And, you know, 86 years old, the fact that he was still touring in April.
10 shows in April.
It's impressive.
Unbelievable. Heaven just got a little bit more musical.
It's so true. All right, still to come on Houston Life, meet the Houston Pitmasters, bringing the heat to Food Network's hit barbecue competition show.
It's really great. And grab the kids, y'all. The Children's Museum is about to open a new exhibit. It's one of our favorite places in town. We're going to get a sneak preview in studio next when Houston Life returns. Welcome back to Houston Life. It's time now for our HTown Sit Down.
Let's meet today's guest. May is National Inventors Month, and the Children's Museum Houston is celebrating with a brand new exhibit. It's called Newton Know-How and includes a complete reenactment of Newton's falling apple and all the physics that go with it. Straight from the Children's Museum, our favorite science guy, Mr. O, is bringing us a sneak peek. He joins us now for our HTown Sit Down. Come on out, Mr. O.
Great to see you, Keith.
Great to be here. So excited.
Welcome back to Houston Life. Courtney and I have been trying to get one of those coats for years. I'm still hoping one day it'll happen. And
I will always make sure I don't leave it here. So,
because you know it'll go missing. Listen, this new exhibit sounds really, really cool about the basics of gravity, but so much more too.
exactly. Physics, you know, a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to take that in high school. And no. Physics is very understandable. Doing all the math part, sure, that's a little bit harder, but the real core basics you can learn just by experimenting with everyday objects. So that's why I brought out a couple of those little everyday things that we have here. So dominoes are fantastic for this. So you can build domino runs. Tops are fantastic. And that's, you know, angular momentum, which is really complicated, but spinning a top is really easy. So you can explore motion, different kinds of motion, and more importantly, the physics behind it and the fact that's forces that cause that. And that's all thanks to, well, not thanks to Newton, but he's the one who figured it out, Sir Isaac Newton. And since, you know, we just came out of a 2-year pandemic, it's really kind of fun to mention that, you know, his school got shut down for 2 years. Now, this was university, but when his school got shut down, he had to go back to his farm, and he spent 2 years going through all of his thoughts, all his ideas, and really figuring out these are the laws of motion. These are gravity. This is what gravity probably is and how things work. And so, you know, having come out of that for 2 years, all of a sudden we have this whole new idea about what physics really is and why things work the way they do.
I think it's so great, and it's awesome when we can see this. It's one thing that you're saying about numbers and calculations and all these things, but when we can put that all together and we visualize it, those that have maybe a visual brain and like to see things to learn makes it that much easier.
Exactly. And that's the wonderful thing about it. So, you know, Newton, of course, is well known for the apple, which is probably a myth. But the reality is that he probably wasn't hit on the head, but he definitely saw apples falling and was wondering, well, why do they fall straight? Why don't they like get blown with the wind? Why do they come straight down? And that's how he started to develop his idea of gravity, that, you know, all objects in the universe have gravity. You have gravity, you have gravity, I have gravity. So technically, we're attracted to each other. I do like you, but we just aren't massive enough. Even me with all my extra girth, just aren't massive. We need a big thing like, you know, the Earth, in order to have enough gravity to actually attract the objects between each other. So it's really exciting stuff where all you gotta do is drop something and you can explore gravity. Well, why does it fall this fast? Are there ways I can slow it down? What if I use a different object? What if I compare objects? And that's what Newton Know-How is about. It's about taking everyday objects like golf balls and rolling them, spinning them, dropping them, and really just kind of getting into what happens if and exploring the motion and what causes those changes in motion.
And it's so fun anytime you're on the show, Mr. O, because obviously the museum is super fun, but young people are learning along the way, in many cases without even realizing it. You've brought a few examples to show us this exhibit is all about. So do you want us to over?
So we can definitely start over there with the dominoes. Dominoes are a great toy. Of course, you know, again, fun playing games with them. But in this case, we don't have any of the numbers on them. This is strictly about creating domino runs. And if you want to, you can just go ahead and knock one over because it's all about momentum. And it's the transfer of momentum and the transfer of force. So when you apply a force, that in turn applies a force to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. We have tops. And tops are, again, as you point out, even as you came out, it's like, I haven't seen one of these. And we have lots of different kinds of tops at our tops table where you can get those spinning. You can start to explore, well, this one's a lot taller than this one. You know, is there a difference? Or that one's, you know, not quite as big a circumference as this one. Is there going to be a difference? And, you know, the fact that friction is still going to come into play and make them all stop at some point.
Wow.
Golf balls, again, are one of our best transmitters throughout the exhibit. We have, I think, 8 different pieces that use the golf balls, and they have a great time. And then we really get into some complicated stuff with our turntable, and we don't have the turntable here, but I brought a couple of the pieces here where you can start to explore some very basic physics with things that you can just do even with a coin at home afterwards, and starting to explore the idea of things spinning and moving around. And of course, here I am knocking it around because I'm used to a bigger table. But again, even just taking your fun apple and fun ball at home and just rolling it around and watching for gravity to take over, or friction to take over, or a transfer of momentum.
Mr. O, it's always so much fun. This was a great preview. People can go out and see it for themselves starting this Thursday at 10:30 a.m.
This Thursday, and if you want a little sneak peek, we're mostly open right now, so you can come check it out any day this week, but Thursday is our big grand opening day.
Everybody loves a good party.
Okay, very nice. Mr. O, thanks once again.
And thank you so much for having us.
We always love having you. Keep an eye on that coat. Might go missing. And to our viewers, if you would like to learn more about the Newton's Know-How exhibit, you can visit our website and look for the Scene on Houston Life section.
And still ahead, 2 young locals just made the cut for the BMX World Championships. They're headed to France, and before they head out of town, they're making time to show us some skills. Joe Sam is live with the boys at the race park.
But first, let's check in with Lauren Kelly, who doesn't have a bad assignment this afternoon. Lauren, it never gets old, does it?
Derek, your goat jokes are going to be so awesome the entire day. I love it. We're here at the Houston Arboretum, where I've made a couple of new friends. I'll tell you what the goats are doing here and why it's super beneficial to everybody here at the Houston Arboretum. That is when Houston Life returns. Hi.
It is National Women's Health Week, a time to bring attention to issues that affect women of all ages. And this includes some conditions that might be hard to talk about, like pelvic floor disorders. Let's start the conversation now. Joining me from Memorial Hermann, we have urogynecologist Dr. Salufa El-Shat-Tanufi, and also we have pelvic floor physical therapist Prina Nair. Ladies, welcome so much to the show. Do appreciate it.
Thank you.
As I said in the beginning, I know that a lot of women hear pelvic floor and they think, can't talk about it. This is something that I'm going through. Nobody else knows what I'm feeling about. Doctor, let's first talk about what exactly is the pelvic floor and why pelvic health is so important.
So the pelvic floor is basically the girdle of bones with all the muscles, the nerve endings, and also the connective tissue. It basically controls a lot of our functions, our bowels, urination, our bladder function, sexual function. So any weakness there, any damage in the muscles in the area or the nerves, there can be a problem with elimination or any of the functions of the bowel or urination or sexual function.
And Prina, continue this conversation, the pelvic floor disorders affect more than, what, 1/3 of women in the U.S.? So what would you say, this is obviously a very common concern for women?
Yes, that is correct. I mean, at least 25% of these women have more than one pelvic floor disorder that affects their everyday life. And so they are common, these pelvic floor disorders. However, it's not normal. And so many of these conditions can be addressed or improved, especially if it's interfering with their everyday life and daily activities. So basically, there are different options for pelvic floor, such as the physical therapy or even surgery.
And I like that there are options. You don't need to go through life with this just because. And also, what causes this? I mean, I'm going to go with childbirth as probably the most common one.
That is correct, yes. There are many conditions, of course, childbirth being one. There's obesity as well as aging and genetics. And so whatever the case may be, here at Memorial Hermann, our pelvic floor physical therapists can address pain, weakness, and other dysfunctions of the pelvic floor to help restore your pelvic health.
And I think a lot of women will hear this and think, gosh, I didn't realize that there's something else besides surgery. Obviously, this is a case-by-case basis, but having to just do physical therapy to make that situation better could probably be life-changing for a lot of women.
Yes, that is correct, yes. Especially those who have a lot of bowel, bladder weakness, pain issues. the physical therapy is a good option. And as a matter of fact, for many cases, it's probably the first step for treatment for these pelvic floor conditions. And with us also, no physician referral is required for their initial evaluation. So we do encourage anyone suffering with pelvic floor conditions to definitely schedule a physical therapy evaluation.
Absolutely. And no, you don't have to live with it. Dr. E, let me have you weigh in here because urogynecological are there to medically manage these pelvic floor issues. So that the bottom line is have this conversation. If you think that there's something wrong, have this conversation with your doctor.
Absolutely. There is no reason to live with a condition like that. This can be severely affecting quality of life. It's important to get evaluated by a urogynecologist. They can tell you exactly what they see as far as your symptoms, the history, what they see on the physical exam, and formulate a plan for you, very much so also including pelvic floor physical therapy.
Thank you so much, ladies. And this is a true testament. You don't have to live with this for the rest of your life. You can get some really great information. Dr. Elshat Tanufi and also Prina Nair, thank you, ladies, so much for the input today.
Thank you.
And to learn more, you can go online to memorialhermann.org/women's health, or you can give them a call at 713-222-2273. All right, let's send things over to Derek now.
All right, Courtney, very important conversation there. Well, shifting gears now, maybe you like mowing your yard, maybe you consider it a total chore, a pain. Well, either way, why not have some sweet baby goats do it instead? That's exactly what's going on today at the Houston Arboretum and Nature Center. And Lauren Kelly, they're not all baby goats, right? There are some adult goats in the mix as well.
We have a plethora of aged goats out here, Derek. This is so much fun. These are our friends. We've been out here to show you guys why the goats are here at the Arboretum before, but to give us the real answer, our good friend Christine Mansfield with the Arboretum is here. Why the heck are these goats out here?
So these guys are out here just doing what they do. They're eating the vegetation out here and helping us mow down some of the species that we don't want to have out here, or that, you know, it's a little harder for us to get to.
So to put in perspective what they're actually eating, the overgrown vegetation, I'm going to have our photographer Brian turn around and show us. This is what it kind of starts as.
It is, yes. And so this area, you know, it gets a little bit overgrown with some things like the blackberry and dewberry. We also do have some poison ivy in there. And so we're getting the goats in to really clear some of that out and help our conservation team get to some of those things to remove them.
But do not worry, the goats are not affected by poison ivy, right?
They are not. But that is one of the reasons that we say don't try and pet them or feed them, because they can get it on themselves and then it can transfer to you. So we don't want that to happen.
So Christine, tell us who brings the goats out here. Who do these goats belong to?
So these guys belong to Rent a Ruminant Texas, and they are a group that has hundreds of goats, and they take them all around the state to do just this, help out with parks and private entities that like to use a more natural solution to get rid of vegetation.
I feel like these goats are getting wined and dined at some of the best places all around the country, right?
Absolutely, and especially here we have so many great native species that they really do enjoy eating.
And the best part is these goats all have names. I love reading the names, I love reading about them. You have the experts here to chat about any kind of goat information, but they're going to stay here a little bit longer than we originally planned, right?
They are. We thought they were going to be done by actually tomorrow,
Yep.
but they'll be here through the end of the week. So through the end of the day Friday, if you haven't gotten a chance to come out and see them, come on out, and there's information on our website if you need tips and tricks to figure out where they're at or the best ways to see them.
Perfect. Christine, thank you so much. You guys, not only is this adorable, you can watch them eat and feed pretty much all day long. They just don't get filled up. It's amazing. It's also an educational opportunity for the little ones too. Christine, thank you so much. Derek and Courtney, back to you guys in studio. Should I bring out any pets? Should I take home any pets for us to have
they're
in
so
studio?
cute. I know it's educational, but it's also a selfie moment. It's so cute.
Don't touch the goats, Lauren. That
No.
poison ivy tip is really interesting.
It is very interesting, but take a selfie, girl. Please. So cute.
I will. And they also drink something they call Go-to-Raid. Hey!
Go-to-Raid.
Wow, that was real bad, Lauren. Thank you so much. Thank you. Have fun out there. They are so cute. Okay, so they train right here in Houston, but get this, soon they will be making their way to France. Two young folks who just made the United States BMX team are headed to the BMX Racing World Championships.
It's really awesome. Before they leave, they're showing us some of their skills, and Joe Sam is live with the pair to hopefully learn a trick or two. Hi, Joe.
Hey guys, that's right. So we're at Rockstar Energy Bike Park, and you can already see our two young superstar racers. They're going to be telling us all about BMX riding and how they're qualified to participate in the World Championship. We're going to be learning some of those cool tricks when we come back here on Houston Life, and a little bit more about these BMX racers. That's when Houston Life returns.
Welcome back to Houston Live. Courtney and Derek back with you on this Monday.
Yeah, glad to have you with us. And if you missed the top of the show, we talked about our Insider event we did on Saturday at the Rustic for Kentucky Derby Day.
It was so much fun.
It was so much fun. Another reason to join our KPRC2 Insider program. If you're not already a member, you can sign up for free. And right now, we want to know, where is your favorite place to catch a game in town? This is a cool little poll bracket we're doing. We've teamed up with Karbach Brewing Company to launch an online bracket highlighting some of your favorite local spots. So think of any place you would go to watch a game, grab a bite to eat, or a drink with your friends.
You can nominate your top picks now on clicktohouston.com/contest. The nomination round will be followed by the voting round, and then the winning spot will be featured right here on Houston Life.
That is pretty cool. It's also going to be kind of a tough competition because there's so many great places.
So many great places. I know. So get on out there and fill that out. All right, let's check in with Keith, Christine, and Frank for a look at what they have coming up at the top of the hour. Hi, guys. Happy Monday.
Hello.
Hello.
Monday. Happy Monday. Yeah, I can think of a few spots. Actually, I know how I'm going to vote, but I don't think I can vote. So
I'm just thinking of any place like on a day like this that has like misters and fans.
Yeah.
If you're going to be outside, because boy, is it toasty out there.
But are there misters? I don't see a lot of misters here. I see them in other cities, but
I think we're maybe too
We're already
humid.
so wet.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Are we getting more misters? Are we getting more misters? Mister?
yeah, I know. Yeah, can you help us out?
I love that
Swimming pool. I mean, that would do really well. Like, there's El Segundo Beach Club, right? I'm not sure if they watch sports there or if they have monitors for it, but that would be perfect here.
Or just throw some ceiling fans. Yeah, ceiling fans help. Well,
They
yeah,
do.
a little bit.
They do.
They do.
You know the misters that come off the fans? Let's just take this to Facebook, folks. Let's get this going. All right, yeah, it's toasty out there.
Frank, it is hot.
Tough,
My goodness.
I know, and it's not going to change much either as we go into this week and even next. It doesn't look like. So look at these temperatures, lots of nines here. 89, 91, 92, 93, 93 in Columbus, 90 in Wharton, 90 in Lake Jackson, and it feels like to 104 in Brenham right now. A lot of triple digits out there in upper 90s, so it's pretty insufferable. Make sure you take caution. We may catch the records. Intercontinentals is 94, so we may be just a degree shy of that. Hobby's no real threat, but Galveston already to 87, and 88 is the record, so they may tie that. And then the College Station, their record's 99, so they're going to get close, it looks like. In the meantime, there are rip current issues again, a high rip current risk. We talk about these, just a little explainer again, that what happens here is that the water comes toward the shore, and when you see these breaking waves like that, and then a quiet patch in between, that's usually a sign that that's a rip current. And what happens is it pulls a swimmer straight out, and if you try to fight back, it's like going up the down escalator. You can't do it. So what you need to do is go parallel to the shore. Just go out there or go out there, and you'll get away from the rip current and then come back to shore. If you're not able to swim parallel, then make sure obviously you want to try to get help. But if you can't escape, float or tread water. So a reminder about that, and to stay hydrated. I know I sound like a fifth grade teacher, don't I? Take frequent breaks, but do it. It could save your life. So you want to make sure that you stay cool in all this, because look, next 3 days, I've got 90, 92, 94, and the record for Thursday is 92. So that looks like it's a goner for sure. And we're going to continue to see, I think, this right on into the weekend. I blog about this. Dripping and dipping. You can scan that QR code. I have a lot more about the heat, why it's happening right now, and how long it may last, at least through the third week of May. So check out my blog at clicktohouston.com/weather.
Yeah, Frank, and you need water well before you start feeling thirsty. So yeah.
That's right. When you're thirsty, that's when your body says, hey, where's the water?
Yeah.
So bottoms up with that water.
Yeah, I also saw a bunch of folks walking their dogs around 3 o'clock yesterday, and I was like, oh, their poor paws. It's too hot for them. So it's definitely worth a reminder, Frank.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Indeed.
All right, let's talk about some other stories we're covering for you at 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Yeah, the price of gasoline spiking once again to near record highs. So what's causing the higher prices now? We're looking for answers ahead at 4 o'clock.
And a story you're definitely going to remember. Imagine waking up in the morning to find out the pup that you've been snuggling with in your bed is not actually your dog.
What?
Yeah, how this happened to one family will explain. It's
oh my goodness.
Pretty interesting.
I have a lot of questions.
Same.
Yeah.
Actually, you clarified one, because when I heard it earlier today, I thought, a dog just got in their house and snuggled with them. But okay, now I figured out that okay, there's just more to it.
Wouldn't your dog have a lot of questions as well? Like,
I think so. Although, I don't know, Oscar likes to snuggle, so he might just, you know,
Turn
wander.
up at the neighbor's house.
Exactly. Free snuggles? I'm here for it.
We'll hear the whole story at 4 o'clock.
Yes.
We'll see you all then.
Okay, sounds good.
Well, as many of you know, Houston is home to some of the world's best athletes, gymnasts, tennis players, track and field stars. The list goes on and on.
It sure does. And first on Houston Life today, we're meeting 2 local BMX racers that made the national team. They practice at a Rockstar Park. It's called Rockstar Energy Bike Park. It is on Houston's north side near Greens Point. Listen, my boys are a fan of this park. We go a lot. Joe Sam is joining us there live this afternoon. Hi, Joe.
Hey guys, yeah, not only is this an amazing park for you to come speed if you're those speed demons and that adrenaline rush that you need, but these 2 racers that we have with us are superstars. Let's learn a little bit more about our BMX superstars here in Houston.
Hi, I'm TJ Rivera. And I'm LJ Hershey. And we're BMX Racers. We used to go to the skate park, and then we saw this, and I saw the track, and I just fell in love.
12-year-old CJ from Alaska and LJ from Spring have been racing since they were able to place their wheels on the track and became close friends after meeting at Rockstar Energy Bike Park in Greens Point. Since then, they've been participating in competitive events all around Texas, winning each race in under 32 seconds.
I got into it because when I was like 2 or 3 or 4, I used to race dirt bikes, and I thought that was a little too dangerous, so I started doing this.
And they've been doing it extremely well while focusing on preparation and safety before each race, which can stretch between 300 to 400 meters.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
Just making sure you train a lot, eating good, sleeping good. Stretching and warming up, because if you're not warmed up or stretched, you're going to crash.
Instead of crashing, the boys are advancing, getting the opportunity to compete in regional BMX racing events, jumping the boys into the national qualifier in South Carolina, where they've both been placed on the U.S. BMX team and are gearing up to race in the World Championships in France.
I felt super happy because the last 2 times I've qualified, it's been canceled, and this is the first time I'm going to go. This was my first time ever qualifying, and so it made me even happier. It's really fun because there's a bunch of other tracks around the country and the world that you can try that are a little bit easier and some are a little bit harder.
CJ and LJ plan on going even harder during the World Championship, hoping that every racer will soon come to know their BMX superstar names.
The Alaskan Pool, Houston Heat.
So turn up the heat because this dynamic duo is ready to fire up the tracks and leave everyone in their dust. Yeah, they are firing up the tracks for sure, and they're taking off as we speak right now. When we come back, we're going to be learning some tricks and tips about BMX racing. I have to get my bike and my helmet, and they're going to show me around, and we're going to have a little race here on the Rockstar Energy Bike Park when we come back. But for Courtney and Derek, I'm ready for that speed.
It's really incredible, Joe. And just by the way, their story, they're 12 years old. Really incredible.
Very nice, Joe.
Yeah,
you're going to do a great job.
And very young, very talented.
Okay, we'll see you in just a bit. Still to come on Houston Life, they are the local chefs representing Houston on Food Network's BBQ Brawl. There they are right there. Michelle Wallace, Don Wynn. Find out how they are heating up the competition to become Master of Q.
And apparently I'm being put to the test.
Yeah,
I get to eat some barbecue?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, I'm down. Houston Life will be right back.
Well, welcome back here to Houston Life. We are at Rockstar Energy Bike Park, and we are learning all about BMX racing from 2 of the superstars here, LJ and CJ here. You guys, you have to tell me one of the tricks that y'all really like to do. It's called the wheelie. So who's going to explain the wheelie to me? All right, so let me know a little bit about the wheelie because you do this extremely well.
So for the wheelie, you're going to pick up your front end, and you're going to just take off pedaling.
All right, and that's how you usually hit it. You get some good speed to go with it, right, too? All right, and then you also told me a little bit more, and while we're asking him, show us a little bit of that wheelie that you talked about. And I want to get a little bit more information from you when we do the adrenaline to get that pump up going. How do you do it? You said it's something like a push-up motion.
Yeah, it's more like a push-up because you have to go down and then push with your arms up to like get over the jump.
All right.
And gain speed from it.
And you guys really do this well. Look, he's giving us that action right now, but we want to race a little bit. Y'all said y'all were going to give me a head start, so I'm going to get my bike going right now, and then you guys are going to let me get a little head start, right? Y'all going to take it easy on me?
Yes, sir.
All right, they're going to take it easy on me. All right, count us down. In 3, 2, 1, I'm off.
I meant to say no when I said we were going to take it easy on him.
Ready, set, go!
Okay, so they gave Joe a little bit of a head start, but it looks like the guys, Joe, they're leaving you in the dust.
Come on, Joe, pedal, 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 push, push.
Okay. All right.
Third place, good job.
Come on back here, you guys. Woo. I'm out of breath. You know, you can go and support these two amazing racers on our website. We'll have a link to their GoFundMe pages. They are getting ready to go to France for the World Championships. Are you guys excited for France?
Super excited.
Very excited.
All right. Y'all gonna beat them all out here. Y'all kind of showed me off right now. Y'all told me y'all were gonna let me win, but they didn't let me win. We're gonna have all the information. We wish you two the both best of luck in France. Courtney and Derek, I need a lot more practice than I thought. I thought I was gonna be able to whip them. I can't.
Joe, don't even worry about it. At least you didn't come in 4th place. That would have been a total embarrassment.
Exactly.
But please tell LJ
First,
and
second,
CJ
third,
best
right?
of luck.
High five.
They're going to be great. How exciting, the BMX Racing World Champions.
It's so awesome. I love hearing their story as well. Very cool park as well. Okay, barbecue lovers rejoice because tonight is the premiere of a new season of Food Network's BBQ Brawl.
The Brawl is back, and I'm going for the win.
Not so fast, partner.
Are you ready for some real competition?
Okay, this hit show is proving once again that Houston is home to some of the best barbecue talent in the country because 2 of the 9 contestants this year hail from H-Town.
And they are joining us now. Let's welcome Michelle Wallace and Don Wynn. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hi, how are y'all?
We're great. Better now that you're both here.
I know. Okay, so this is such a treat to be featured on this show. And of course, what better way to showcase the eats in our town when we talk about barbecue, because Texas barbecue stands out for itself. Let's talk about you first, Michelle. You graduated from TSU with a degree in healthcare administration, which led you right into being a pit master.
Right, like it just correlates, right?
What happened?
Yes, I just got tired of sitting at a desk, and I'd waited tables for years, and I was around food, and I loved it. I love people who dine out. I love the whole restaurant atmosphere, and so I just kind of delved into cooking. Graduated from the culinary school here in Houston, and just kind of took off from there. Met legendary pitmaster Greg Gatlin at a party, and that's kind of when my barbecue began.
I love that.
Your life changed. Very cool. Well, you certainly look the part, and we can't wait to dig into some of the food a little bit later. Dawn, let's talk about you. You were born in Vietnam, but raised right here in Houston. And cooking at home, of course, you were surrounded by Vietnamese flavor, so that's really influenced your style of cooking.
Yeah, that's right. I came here when I was 5, and so the whole idea of cooking for me right now is just kind of nostalgic, kind of brings me back to my childhood. And so a lot of the dishes that my mom and aunts and grandma would make, I try to put it into barbecue.
That's so cool. Like with every dish you make, you can have this lovely family memory, I'm sure. And you also have your own shop now, your own restaurant, Kwai.
That's right. We're still a little bit away from opening, but we have our location and we're building it out slowly.
It's really awesome. Okay, let's talk about the show. What was this like for you, Michelle, when, you know, Food Network came calling and said, hey, we're doing this barbecue show, we need you on it?
I initially thought, like, who's playing in my inbox, right? I thought it was a joke. But then, like, I kind of went into it, and I was just blown away that they would ask me. I thought it would be a great opportunity to kind of show, like, my skills beyond traditional barbecue, so we were able to impart, like, some cool flavors into some of the dishes, so. Yeah, I was excited.
Man, we're looking at some of the judges right now. This is no joke. I loved the last season. We got Bobby, we've got Ann. I mean, this is intense. Like we were talking during the break, guys, even Don, working against the clock for something like this, right?
That's right. Yeah, no, it was, I haven't been cooking in a scenario like that before. It was like really nerve-wracking, but, you know, it was fun. But, you know, it was like 30 seconds left, 5 seconds left, and hands up.
So you don't have cameras and timers going off typically?
Right. Exactly, right, yeah.
Well, in tonight's episode, this is a very special premiere, right? It's a 90-minute episode.
Yes.
So for people who are unfamiliar, then any surprises? I know you can't give anything away.
Cannot give anything away, but we can say that you'll get you'll be introduced to all the contenders, and I think you'll be able to see their style of barbecuing, and so I think that's going to be the best part of this episode.
Okay, well, it looks colorful and fun and the perfect Texas backdrop. Okay, so Michelle and Dawn, sit tight because we're going to do a little something after the break. Reminder, though, the BBQ Brawl premieres tonight at 8 p.m. on Food Network. It is also available to stream weekly on Discovery Plus. As always, you can visit the Scene on Houston Life section of our website, HoustonLife.tv, if you would like more info.
All right, no better place to get barbecue in the country, in the world, is right here in Houston. That's guys, thanks so much. Okay, the barbecues, they're fired up. Dawn and Michelle are putting my taste buds to the test in a blind tasting challenge you can only find in Houston.
Yeah, you don't want to miss it. Houston Life will be right back. We are back with Michelle Wallace, executive chef at Gatlin's Barbecue, and Dawn Wynn, owner of Kwai Barbecue, ahead of tonight's BBQ Brawl premiere on Food Network. So Michelle and Dawn, they've cooked up a little game. Courtney, you are the taste tester. So go ahead. You have a great little blindfold there.
Okay.
And while you put that on, I'm going to
I'm
read
scared.
you.
Put it on now?
Put it on now.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to be tasting a number of dishes. So 2 dishes for every round. Your task is to taste the difference between Michelle and Dawn's distinctive barbecue style. So I'm going to give you a flavor clue, and essentially your job is to correctly identify which dish contains that specific flavor profile. Does that all make sense?
No, but just when you'll tell me. Okay.
Okay, go ahead and remove the lid from your first plate.
Oh, you got it.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you, Michelle. Thank you. Now we have. I think
this is real food. You guys aren't punking me, right?
It's real food.
Okay.
I think it's all the way on the end. The one on the end. There you go, Michelle.
Oh, this
okay.
one?
So this category, it's actually, well, it should be wings, but I don't think so.
Do we just need to switch it?
Yeah. Where are the wings? Where are the wings?
The wings
okay.
are right
Let's
here.
give you the wings, Courtney.
Okay.
Okay.
I feel so helpless.
Well, we're off to a fantastic start. There are the
right
wings
here?
there, Courtney. Go ahead and dig in.
Okay.
Okay.
2, yeah.
Okay, eat that one. There you go. Take a bite and tell us what you're tasting. How's the flavor?
Oh, it's good.
Okay, now move on to the next set of wings.
Okay, put that one down. Yep, right there.
Okay.
Okay.
There you go, right here. Yep, right
Yep,
here.
right there.
This one? Okay.
Okay, so this is what you're looking for. Michelle prepared miso glazed smoke wings. Which are the wings Michelle prepared? Miso glazed smoked wings, garnished with spicy togarashi and bonito. I don't know what those things are, but they sound great.
They are amazing.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the first one because that one had more heat to it.
You are correct. Ding, ding. Okay, let's move on to the second category.
Do I have food all over my face too?
You do not.
No, you
okay.
don't. You're doing great. The second tray there, you can remove it, Courtney.
This one?
Now, this is sausage. So go ahead and take a bite. We got to move quickly through this.
Okay.
So take a bite of the first one. Okay, now go for the second one.
Okay.
This time we're going to go for the dish that Dawn prepared.
Okay. I have to, hang on.
Yeah. Dawn prepared a Viet Tex andouille sausage. A Viet Tex andouille sausage. Was it the first or second bite you had?
I think it's the first.
Oh, sadly.
Oh, is it?
But I'm guessing they were both delicious.
They're
Let's try to get into
both
third
very good.
round
Okay.
very, very quickly.
Hang on, I feel
Okay,
like
third round is
there's a
ribs.
bit on that.
Are those actually ribs under there? Let's
Yeah,
look.
Yep.
Okay, Courtney, move on down the road.
These on
And let's go for the ribs. We're going to let you take a bite of the first side. Okay. Michelle and Dawn, how do you think she's doing?
I think she's doing.
She's eating really well.
Yeah, doing beautiful. But she's able to recognize flavors, and that's what
Yeah.
the
Attention
challenge
to
is
detail.
about.
She could be a judge on your show. Okay,
could
Courtney,
be.
go for the second bite.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, you are looking for ribs glazed with white pepper and Kwai barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
Listen, while Courtney ponders this, we're going to take a quick commercial break.
Okay.
Don't go away. Houston Life will be right back.
Well, off. Am I reading
Okay,
something?
back now with Michelle Wallace and Don Wynn. You can catch them tonight on BBQ Brawl. Okay, before the break, you were trying the ribs, and your description that you're looking for, the white pepper and Kwai barbecue sauce glazed ribs. The first ribs or the second ribs you ate? Which ones were they?
Well, okay, I'm going to go with rib number 2 because of the spicy pepper that I'm getting from it.
And rib number 2 is correct. Good job. Well, and a reminder.
Oh my gosh,
Michelle
so
and Don,
fun.
great job, Courtney. Michelle and Don, we can catch you tonight on BBQ Brawl on Food Network. Congrats, we're going to be rooting for you along the way.
Thank you so much. That was so much fun. Well, you come and feed me anytime.
Anytime.
Okay?
Call me.
That was really great.
You still have an extra tray here, so you can have that during the 4 p.m. news. We're going to send it on over to Keith and Christine in Studio A. We'll save some for you too as well.
Gosh, you can smell it from
I was going to
here.
say send the ribs, you know, yeah. And we're
Sorry, I ate them.
Yes, you did.
We're pulling for Donna and Michelle, but I know Michelle's cooked in my house, so I know she could cook. We know Michelle, so yes.
Oh, small world.
She's fabulous.
Yeah, best of luck to you guys, and we'll see you guys tomorrow on Houston
Sounds
Live.
good. We'll be
Sounds
here.
good.